Hello and welcome to the Learning Hub's video on how to format your Google document in MLA style. My name is Sarah Collins. I'm the writing coordinator in the Learning Hub, and I'm here to show you physically using desktop screen recording software how to put your Google document in MLA format. We're going to run through this very quickly, so feel free to pause the video anytime you need to catch up to me. The very first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to put the information in the top of your paper here. In MLA style, there are 4 things that go in the top left. You start with your name, so I'm going to go ahead and write my name here. You hit enter, then you need your instructor's name, include any honorifics that they prefer, such as professor so-and-so or doctor so-and-so. I'm just going to make up a name here. Then you hit enter, and then you'll need the class. This is typically going to be the call number, not the full name of the class. So for example, Rhetoric and College Writing is otherwise known as English 101, so I'm going to put that here. Enter one more time, and now we need the date. Now this is something that trips up a lot of students. In MLA, dates are formatted with day first in number format. So today is the 22nd of April. Month goes next. You do abbreviate months with a period, except for May and June, I believe, are the two that do not get abbreviated. June might. And then you need the year. There is no other punctuation or special formatting that goes into it. This is just something to bake into your memory about what MLA formatting needs to be. I'm going to hit enter one more time, and now I'm going to center align my cursor, and now I'm going to place my title. You can come up with a title on the spot, or you can do like I do and just write title, title, title as a placeholder to give yourself the time to write the paper and figure out what it's going to be about before you label it. Last thing we're going to do is hit enter one more time, and I'm going to hit backspace, though you can left align again to begin writing. If you like, you can grab this top part of the caret on the ruler and drag it over to 0.5 to give yourself a nice first line indent for your paragraphs. Then you can start writing. The very last thing I will mention about this before we jump into putting information in the header over here is that sometimes your professor might have specific formatting requirements for your font, type and size and spacing, and if they're just say do MLA style, the default for MLA is Times New Roman 12-point font double spacing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. First, I'm going to highlight all of my text, so Control A. You can also grab and click and drag, but I'm going to Control A just to select everything. And then you can go ahead and change your font, type, and size here. To change your spacing, you have a couple of ways you can do it. You can go into Format and then Line and Paragraph Spacing and select Double, though you do also have the ability to make this change here in this this button you can click and it will pull up that same menu. That is how you make sure you have the right font, spacing, and type here. So the next thing we need to talk about is the header. Now the header is separate from the body of the page, so I cannot get to the header just by clicking around in here. In order to get into the header, you can either double click at the very, very top of the page, or you can go into, I believe it is Insert, and then Header and Footer, and select Header here. Once you're in the header though, and it does tell you you're in the header here, you'll want to go to the Options menu and then select Page Numbers. In MLA style, you have your last name and the page number on every single page. Now the default options here are fine, but you will want to make sure you're in the header, that you show on first page, because every page, including the first, needs to have this information, and you start your numbering at the number 1. And then you hit apply, and it should dump your page number, and it should be a little grayed out to show that this is an automatic page number, meaning you don't have to ever do anything with it. Change it to 2, 3, 4. It's going to automatically count what page we're on. It will dump it in the top left. This is the wrong place though. In MLA style, this header information goes top right. So I'm going to go ahead and select the right align to bump it over. And then you need your last name before the page number. So I'm going to use my arrow keys to tab over before it. And then with a space, I'm going to type my last name. You will notice the font is not quite the same. It doesn't carry that over, so you may need to change that as well. Otherwise, this is the correct formatting for an MLA title first page, and you can begin writing from this point. The second thing we need to talk about is the Works Cited page. After you're done writing, you will want to include a Works Cited page in MLA for any sources that you use. So I'm going to show you that here. Typically in MLA style, you begin the Works Cited page at the top of the page following the end of your paper. And the very first thing we need, we're going to not have a first line indent here. And the very first thing we need is to center a line. At the very top of the page, you write the words Works Cited. Now, I will note if you have one source you're referencing, you only call it the Works Cited page, but I have a whole bunch of sources I'm going to dump in here, so I'm going to call it Works Cited. You then hit enter and you'll notice that the double spacing and the Times New Roman 12-point font do carry over to this page since I had selected all of the text before. So we are good to go there, and I'm just going to hit backspace again to left align to be able to dump in my citations. I'm going to do that by Control V for paste, and you'll see it just dumps it all in here in that same double spacing 12-point font Times New Roman, which is wonderful. The only problem is we do not have the correct indentation for our sources, so we need to fix that. In citation styles broadly, they use what is called a hanging indent for their citations, where any citation that goes past the first line has the second and subsequent lines indented over 1/2 inch. Now you can do this in the ruler. In typically, I will say in Google it's a little hard to maneuver this. So the way that I think ensures you're doing it correctly is to go into the Format tab. You will then go to the Align and Indent tab and then select Indentation Options. It will pull up this little pop-up window, and in the Special Indent dropdown you will select Hanging. And as long as you've selected all of your sources, it will apply that formatting, and you can see now as we scroll through our list, you have every single citation that goes on a second line or more has that hanging indent. The very last thing I will mention is sometimes your paper will automatically put a little bit of extra spacing between your paragraphs. Some professors don't care about that, others do not want to see that. And so I just want to point out that you can go into Format, line and paragraph spacing, and you can elect to remove the space before or after the paragraph. In this case, I believe it is after the paragraph. But actually it looks like it might be before. So we will remove the space. And now you can see they kind of crunched down together into proper double spacing with no extra indent or extra spacing between those. So there you go. That's how you format a paper in MLA style using Google Docs. Hopefully this information was helpful to you. If you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to the Learning Hub or to check out our resources we have on our website. Those are always available free for students and anyone else out there to use. But for now, my name is Sarah Collins again, and I wish you the very best of luck with writing your MLA papers. Thank you and have a great day.